Energy expert, Sisan Shona, South African Tourism CEO, Cas Coovadia, Business Unity South Africa CEO, and Hanki Matabane, Black Business Council CEO, joining us now. Thank you very much for all of you. I know that you've been waiting some time. Mohammed Mahdi, I'd just like to start with you, focusing on energy. We heard the opposition politicians not too impressed, but certainly if you read into some of the detail of what the president said, that analysis suggests easing licensing requirements for new embedded generation could unlock up to 5,000 megawatts of additional capacity, and amendments to Schedule 2 of the Electricity Regulation Act are going to happen within 3 months. Could that actually, if that goes ahead, stop load shedding?
Well, 3 months is 3 years too late. You know, at this stage, to still need another 3 months to figure out what the level should be is completely unacceptable. So that's not something I would get excited about. It's something that should have come here. You know, there should have been an announcement that was made in terms of exactly this is the number. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult to figure out what that number is, what that level should be. And in fact, 5,000 megawatts is way below the capability of independent power producers to provide generation capacity to the grid. So it is actually hamstringing independence from being able to provide even more. And they can do multiples of that 5 megawatts, 5 gigawatts. So, you know, it's not a number that I'm at all impressed with.
All right, so you'd open it all up rather more quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring in Hanki Matabane from Black Business Council. From what you heard there, Hanki, the president talking about, you know, South Africa rising a bit like the Fynbos after a fire, a wildfire. Did you get enough in terms of supporting business and restarting of the economy, as well as supporting those businesses that have been hard hit by COVID-19 from the president's speech tonight?
Yeah, our view is that it was a good thing that the president took the country into confidence and reported back on the economic recovery plan that was presented almost 4 months ago. We welcome the fact that the 200 billion loan guarantee scheme, which is 40% of the 500 billion relief package, was going to be revised, because only around 80% was actually taken by businesses. And we've been raising alternatives with the Minister of Finance, the Reserve Bank, and through NETLEC. And we think our proposal will be able to assist the take-up of this. We also welcome the anti-corruption statutory body that is being formed. We hope to actually do its work without fear and favor. We also hope the president was going to announce the public procurement bill, that something is going to be done with it. But unfortunately, there was no time frame. We will still engage with them. We also welcome the tariffs extended to sectors that were affected, because most of the small businesses do not necessarily function very well, and even now in level 3.
All right, thank you very much. And I'd like to bring Sisan Shona, South Africa Tourism CEO, in now. Sisa, the president mentioning that they're going to make the issuing of visas easier. And of course, we know that the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdowns have absolutely destroyed tourism in South Africa. Have you heard enough from the president on what needs to be done to keep tourism going? It's such a critical industry for South Africa.
Absolutely, and thank you for the opportunity. Yes, tourism globally has been hard hit, and essentially with the front end, you know, of the pandemic in itself. So the work that we can do now in order to prepare ourselves for the when things open is very much welcomed. And the e-visa environment has really been in the pipeline for a very long time. And if it can ease itself, you know, really be quite great. The president also focused on the vaccine. And in the tourism sector, we call this the year of the vaccine, because that's what's going to give us, you know, destinations around the world competitive advantage. Any destination that is seen as safe, any destination that is seen as also being in the front edge in terms of rollout of the vaccine is really going to be one forging ahead. And then lastly as well, the president went at length about the SMEs itself and also localization. So in the tourism space, for the foreseeable future, domestic tourism is going to be our bread and butter, and we're really going to focus on that.
Lastly, and very quickly, Business Unity South Africa's Cas Coovadia. There was much talk, Cas, about issues of the ease of doing business in South Africa. In a report back on that, the jobs stimulus was mentioned, but also this whole talk around master plans that are specific for sectors. Did you get enough from that gives you confidence that your constituents will be able to participate in turning around this economy?
Look, we've been working with government quite a bit on the localization initiative and some of the energy stuff and so on. And I think there is some progress in that. Although, as I think one of the speakers said, we've been battling away at these things for 3 years. The issue for us is that the president, unfortunately, did not mention the fact that we have rising unemployment. We have a severe fiscal crisis. We are a country that's in sub-investment grade status. We have no economic growth. All of those things, those are the issues, the systemic fundamental issues that if we don't address and if we don't begin to address very quickly, the work we're doing on some of the short-term issues will just not be sustainable. And the tragedy is that we've been talking about these issues for the last 3 years. We are committed as business to work with the president and work with government to try and get our country onto an economic growth path. But we're not going to do it without creating the environment for investment and for substantial, real job-creating investments, growing business, putting our economy onto a sustainable growth path, broadening the tax base. Those are the issues we've got to deal with. And with all due respect, those issues were not dealt with tonight.
Yeah, we need more. Thank you so much, Cas Coovadia, Business Unity South Africa CEO. Also, many thanks to Mohammed Mahdi, an energy expert, Sisan Shona, SA Tourism CEO, and also Khanki Matabane, Black Business Council CEO.
Right, we're back in just a moment.